بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى خصوصا على سيد الرسل وخاتم الأنبياء وعلى آله الأزكياء وأصحابه الأتقياء أما بعد. Many years back, I was sitting with one of my teachers and I asked him, why is it that we don't find the likes of the great Salaf, these pillars that existed in our history, in today's world? Where are the Imam Abu Hanifa's gone? Where are the Imam Bukhari's gone? Where is today's Salahuddin Ayyubi? Not to be dismissive to the people who have dedicated their lives to this deen and have done great things and accomplished great, feats, but beyond that, the abundance of scholars that existed in one time, today they are absent. So in response, my teacher said, if you want Abu Hanifa tomorrow, if you want Abu Yusuf tomorrow, if you want Ibn al-Mubarak tomorrow, bring me their parents and teachers and tomorrow you will have them. Because in reality, giants are created by giants. They are people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not only given righteousness to, but He's given them the strength and ability to lay the seeds in the hearts of others. And their presence is such that the moment the student is with them, they experience that growth instantly. And when they walk away, there is a sorrow that casts their heart because they know they are walking away from their fountain of growth. One of these visionaries and giants that created many giants just by his presence and mentorship was none other than Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah ta'ala. He had many students. One of his top students was a young man by the name of Qadi Abu Yusuf. Qadi Abu Yusuf. He later on becomes the Qadi al-Qudat, one of the first to be given this title, the Supreme Judge. One of the first people in Islamic history to receive this title. He becomes that person under the Abbasid Khilafah. But his story starts off in a very different place. He is young, an orphan. His mother would weave fabric and use that money to provide for her child and herself. She told her child that you need to contribute towards the expenses of the household. So from a young age, he now joins a group of people whose task is to wash fabric and wash garments. After his class is done, during his free time, he runs off not to play basketball or soccer, but to the majlis of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi. He was very interested and intrigued by this person. And Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi saw his potential. One day, Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi noticed the child was missing. So he went to find out what happened, and they said that, well, his parents have told him that he needs to provide for the family, so he will not be attending the majlis anymore. In one riwayah, rather than him being absent, one day Abu Yusuf, after doing his work with the cleaning of the garments, instead of returning home, he went absent and his mother was looking for him. She searched everywhere until someone told her that he actually goes every day to sit in the gathering of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. So the mother came to the gathering of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi, and she saw him and she said to him, "O Abu Hanifa, you have corrupted my child. ما أعلم لهذا الصبي فساد غيرك. You are the only source of corruption for my child. You're messing him up. He's supposed to be working and providing for the family, and you're bringing him to these gatherings of ilm. أنت الذي أفسدت على هذا الصبي. إنه صبي يتيم ليس معه شيء." And she begins to present her complaint to him that, I need this child working. So when she was done with her complaint, Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi said to his mother, "Don't worry. I will take care of his finances. How much ever that guy paid him for washing garments, from today I will pay that out of my pocket. But he will study knowledge. Allah is going to accept him for the khidmah of the deen." And then he said to the mother, "You just wait for the day. فَهَا هُوَ ذَا يَأْكُلُ الْفَالُوذَجْ بِدَهْنِ فُسْتُقٍ." That you just wait for the day that your son will eat a dessert that they had at the time called faludaj, possibly something like a modern day faluda. Faludaj, bidahn al-fustuq. Fustuq is pistachio. That it'll be, the oil of pistachio is very valuable. This is very expensive stuff. Dry fruits, dry nuts, these are like, you add them on a food to increase its value and prestige. And this was a food that even the wealthy wouldn't eat. And he's telling this lady that watch, a day will come that your child will have this faludaj, bidahn al-fustuq. So the lady, as she's leaving, she says to him that your brain has gone bad. This is impossible. We are poor people. We barely have enough for tuna sandwich and Maggi noodles. And you're talking about faludaj bidahn al-fustuq? She leaves. Qadi Abu Yusuf then spends his life under Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi, and he becomes one of his top students. Someone Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi is proud of. And later on becomes the Qadi al-Qudat, the supreme judge. The Muhaddithun have respect for Imam Abu Yusuf like none other. They would say that from the whole madhab, the understanding of hadith that Abu Yusuf has, you will not find in other students. This isn't to show that other students were deficient. Rather, it's to show how subtle his knowledge was of all the ulum. Very intelligent person. So one day, he was sitting with Harun al-Rashid. Harun al-Rashid was the Khalifa. He was the supreme judge. They were eating together. So Harun al-Rashid presented to him some dessert, and it was the faludaj bidahn al-fustuq. So Imam Abu Yusuf, now an adult Qadi al-Qudat, he started crying. He broke out into tears. And he says that there was a day where no one trusted me, not even my own mother. But Abu Hanifa was by my side. He saw something in me that no one saw. And he raised me, he built me, he empowered me, he educated me, he trained me. And today, as we would say in the Quranic language, هذا تأويل رؤياي من قبل قد جعلها ربي حقا. That the dream comes true. Full circle. What we thought was impossible, that my mother assumed that this man had gone crazy, today that dream has come true. And the man that Imam Abu Hanifa had built wasn't just an intelligent, smart person who had all the information built out. He was wise. Harun al-Rashid would come to Abu Yusuf in his moments of difficulty. There are many incidents like this. And his knowledge was very vast as well. Imam Abu Yusuf, who is the top of the Hanafi madhab? There's Imam Hanifa, Imam Abu Yusuf, and Imam Muhammad. His two students stand right under him in this hierarchy of scholars in the madhab. Yet he wasn't so strict in the sense that there was no accommodating any school of thought that we are the only ones, everyone else is wrong, because that's not how they were trained by their teachers. Sheikh Muhammad Awama in his Adab al-Ikhtilaf shares an interesting story. He says, عن الإمام أبي يوسف رحمه الله وهو أنه اغتسل في الحمام وبعد صلاة الجمعة أخبر أنه كان في بئرها فأرة ميتة. That one time Imam Abu Yusuf, he went to the public shower, the hammam, to bathe himself before Jum'ah. He led the Jum'ah prayer. After the Jum'ah was done, they found out that the well of the hammam had a dead rat in it. Now, according to the Hanafi madhab, if there is a dead animal in a well, and the well is, it's qalil, it's a small amount of water, all the water becomes impure, the ghusl is invalid, his prayer doesn't count, everyone that prayed Jum'ah behind him, none of their Jum'ah counts. So now we have a crisis, big problem. فَلَمْ يُعِدِ الظُّهْرِ. Imam Abu Yusuf, not only did he not have everyone repeat their salah, neither did he repeat his dhuhr himself. And at that moment he said, نَأْخُذُ بِقَوْلِ إِخْوَانِنَا أَهْلِ الْمَدِينَةِ إِذَا بَلَغَ الْمَاءُ قُلَّتَيْنِ لَمْ يَحْمِلْ خَبَثًا. He said, in this moment, rather than creating a panic in the ummah, that everyone needs to repeat their Jum'ah and everyone needs to do this again, that again, this is one of the top imams of his time. He says, today we will follow the opinion of our brothers from Medina, the madhab of Imam Malik. And their position is that once water exceeds qullatayn, 2 containers, lam yahmil khabathan, it now does not easily become impure until all the traits of the water completely change. The color, taste, and smell. When all the traits change, now it becomes impure. And none of that happened when I use that water for bathing. Therefore, according to the madhab of Imam Malik, it is okay, and I will work with that today. This shows us their wisdom. Now, I just have to say one thing here. This narration is not to demonstrate that these people did not take madhab and fiqh seriously. Of course they did. Islamic law is a serious matter. Madhab jumping and madhab hopping is not the right thing. A person should have discipline. They should understand arguments and rules and stick within a boundary of rules. This is how Islamic law works. But at the same time, these giants are telling us that there are times where you need to accommodate due to the greater circumstance. And this is also their hikmah and wisdom. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to learn from these